second from top against second from bottom, positions unacceptable to both clubs. Eyal Berkovic cost a Scottish record £5.75 million, but his move to Celtic hasn't worked out, and he only starts today because of an injury crisis. Berkovic is up against his former West Ham teammate Samasi Abu, or Abu Samasi, as he now prefers to be known. Abu seeking his first goal for Killy in his 7th appearance. Mike McCurry is the man in charge at Celtic Park tonight. There are a few better atmospheres in football than when this place is full and buzzing, with a huge chorus of "You'll Never Walk Alone." But at the moment, Rangers are walking alone at the top, and that hurts here. It should hurt the players as much as it hurts the fans. Two managers together, Kenny Dalglish smiling at the moment, and hoping that he will be in 90 minutes' time. Kilmarnock were tucked either in between or in behind the Old Firm last season, but it's been a very different story this season. They've been loitering at the bottom, loitering without much intent, and you get the feeling these are two teams who can't wait for the end of May, really, David.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Ian. I think tonight Kilmarnock might just fancy their chances. I know Bobby said to David earlier on that it doesn't matter which 11 Celtic put out, but it does, of course, and Celtic are without the real quality they have here at Celtic Park on most of it tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if Kilmarnock have a bit of a go tonight.
Here's Tosh McKinley, away by Riseth and then by Tebily, but it's still around the edge of the Celtic box, and it looks like it will stay there for a while. McKinley. McKinley has let that one dribble over the line. There are a lot of empty seats around Celtic Park, a sign of the times here.
Yeah, I think even the loyalty of the Celtic supporters, Ian, can only be stretched so far, and the last straw was last Sunday. And it's not surprising on such a foul evening that some have chosen to stay away tonight.
There will be a few stragglers still to come in because the Scots are masters at getting into games very late. Goodness knows where they've been beforehand. Here's Dandaloo. There was a flag up against Tommy Johnson, but they've let Kilmarnock get on with it.
Yeah, we'll see a few offsides tonight, a few tight offside decisions for the near side assistant to call. Both of them, in fact. But Kilmarnock will certainly push their back line up as near to the halfway line as they possibly can. They always do. And it makes it a lot easier for the midfield three to help the front players.
Jim Loughran sends it back to the former Celtic keeper Gordon Marshall. Not quite sure if that was his plan, but it reached McKinley anyway, and here's Jerome Varai, and he could be in here, and Tebily was with him. Varai just couldn't find an opening.
Well, it's a glorious ball over the top. Mjallby and Tebily in all sorts of trouble here. Jerome Varai claims for a penalty, claims that Tebily was leading with the right arm. And it maybe just came a bit too early in the match for Mike McCurry.
Tebily giving Tommy Johnson something to chase, but too much to chase, as it turned out.
Well, here's another look at the penalty claim, and it's typical of Jerome Varai and his willingness to chase lost causes here. I have to say I'd have been surprised if Mike McCurry had pointed to the spot there, but it's an early warning for Celtic as to how vulnerable they might be from the ball over the top tonight for Jerome Varai.
Tosh McKinley facing his former club. Mark Riley isn't going to get to that. It'll be a Celtic throw. Riley in his second spell with the club after an unsuccessful stint with Reading when Tommy Burns was in charge down there. He's now back, of course, at Celtic. Gary Holt. McKinley Up towards Abu, but away by Tebily. Here's Lambert. Healy. Away by Dandaloo, but only to Petrov. Now Berkovic. Here's Riseth. Gus McPherson, who does such a solid job for Kilmarnock, helps that back to his keeper. Oh, and Abu helps it on to Barai. And he's still going. If he'd had a look around, there would have been a better option, but Celtic were extremely casual again.
Well, it's hesitation at the back again. On this occasion, I think it was Olivier Tebily who hesitated, and Jerome Barai didn't have to be asked twice.
Lambert poked it through to Berkovic. Moravcik to his left, Johnsonl to his right. It's going to go first to Lubo Moravcik. And Berkovic! Oh, straight at Marshall, who managed to get enough on it.
It's a great chance for Berkovic. Great pull back here from Moravcik to pick him out here. Berkovic just holds his position, and he did well enough to get the shot on target. Just didn't get the angle right to beat Gordon Marshall. Best chance of the match so far, though.
Foul by Mjallby on Abu. It's pretty end-to-end at the moment. Here's Barai, and he's shaken off Tebily with ease. Jerome Varai's cross. It came to Christophe Coquard. Want to forget that. That was more likely to happen at Murrayfield.
Yeah, I think he had one eye here on Vidar Riseth, who's coming to press the ball here. Never really got over the top of it at all. A decent start to the game, Ian. End-to-end stuff, but Celtic without doubt having the best chance of the match so far here. Lubo Moravcik looked out, picked Berkovic out perfectly. Might even have had time to take a touch on that. Decided to take it first time. And Gordon Marshall was perfectly positioned.
Barai. Riley. McKinley. Riley, who scored against Celtic at Rugby Park earlier in the season. Lambert. Berkovic. Cut out by Jim Loughlin, who was involved in a bit of a set-to with Ian Wright the last time these teams met in the league. In fact, he was sent off in the tunnel afterwards, if you can be sent off when the game's finished. Here's Abu. Looking for Coquard, but cut out by Riseth. Tebily. Colin Healy, who's impressed in his first team outings so far. Lambert, who returned against Rangers last week after a couple of months out. Didn't quite last the pace, but such an influence. Eyal Berkovic. Moravcik looking to put Blinker in here. Mike Chester done so, and it was Durant who got back. Goal kick.
Yeah, good awareness there by Ian Durant. He knew the pass was on him behind him here, and he read it quickly enough to make sure he matched Regi Blinker's run. Although I think Regi Blinker had a fair claim for a corner there.
Coquard knocked it on. Abu. Healy. Petrov, who scored for Bulgaria in midweek, the last of their 4 goals in a 4-1 win over Belarus. Here he is again. Berkovic. Riseth. Blinker, making his first start since the defeat here at the hands of Inverness Kelly Fisher, he said quietly around Celtic Park. Blinker. Flag will go up against Berkovic. Not much doubt it appeared. Kenny Dalglish has been talking to the media again this week about Celtic's search for a new coach. Doesn't look like it will be him, although he really hasn't made that situation very clear, has he, David?
No, I had a try on Friday and asked him 4 times, but he just wasn't having it at all. Eventually I gave up. But I think Charlie's right. I think it's becoming less likely he will take the job. Yeah, it's a good turn here by Petrov. And it's caught well late there by Mark Riley. Petrov, one of the few Celtic successes of recent weeks, heavily criticised when he first arrived here, but I think he's done pretty well over the last 6 weeks or so.
Durant. Here's Jerome Barai, and he's got the free kick. Meantime, Durant is down. Durant, an inspired signing for Kilmarnock when his time ran out at Rangers. Healy did well to pick out Berkovic, but that wasn't the pass that was required for Tommy Johnson. Tosh McKinley, away by Freddie Dandaloo. Healy is there though, so is Lambert. Johan Mjallby, who played for Sweden against Austria midweek in a 1-1 draw. Giant Swede who once scored against England rather famously, thus making him very popular in this part of the world. Kilmarnock second from bottom, just a point above Aberdeen, but victory for Bobby Williamson's team today would see them leapfrog Dundee on goal difference. They were up at the other end of the table last season, but it's been a real slog for them this season. Just 4 wins. Only Clydebank in Britain have 1 fewer. Riseth, Tommy Johnson is onside. Johnson to open the scoring. He does. Tommy Johnson puts Celtic in front, and Kenny Dalglish needed that one.
Well, that's the risk that Kilmarnock take, because they try to hold the line here. The hands go up here. Freddie Dandaloo in particular appeals for offside. I think Tommy Johnson's on though when the ball's played, and you can't ask for a much better finish than that. Enough pace in the ball to take it past Gordon Marshall, but Johnson timed his run to perfection. Kilmarnock caught out with this offside ploy, and you really can't blame Gordon Marshall, who was left totally exposed, much to the delight of Kenny Dalglish.
Tommy Johnson has had a career that has mostly been full of lows at Celtic, but just lately the highs have been coming. Scored in the League Cup final win over Aberdeen, and he's calmed Celtic's nerves here. Abu Riley, away by Tebily. Riley, that's going to swirl towards Barai, but it cannoned off him rather quickly.
Well, this was the moment that mattered here, and as the ball is played here, you see Tommy Johnson at worst level, certainly onside, and Kilmarnock caught out.
Good call from the officials. Paul Lambert. Berkovic to Healy. Celtic 16 points behind the leaders Rangers, as I'm sure they didn't need reminding. They're 9 points clear of third place Hearts. They should secure second spot without too many problems, but second spot is not good enough in Scotland and in Glasgow in particular. Kilmarnock have a free kick though in their efforts to hit back straight away. Ian Durant will of course take it. Holt looked like he was exchanging shirts with Regi Blinker then. Johnson helped it on to Berkovic. Moravcik to his left. That's where it's going. Celtic buzzing now. Berkovic sets it up for Lambert. Ooh, it just skidded wide.
Eyal Berkovic loses Gary Holt here as Celtic go forward there, and it allows them to set Paul Lambert up for the shot. Not a bad effort from Paul Lambert. He just cut across the ball though. Bit of a slice on it and just drifts wide of the target.
Lambert, very much a key man at Celtic Park. Johnson, Lambert, Blinker, Healy, Republic of Ireland under 21 international. It's a second bite of it. It's Celtic's throw. Healy turned 20 last month. Berkovic. It's the fifth meeting between the teams this season. 1 draw, 3 wins for Celtic so far, including in the League Cup semi-final. They went on to win that trophy. Riseth to Moravcik. Regi Blinker. Riseth well forward, just caught by Loughlin, but nothing doing. Nothing doing for Kilmarnock either. Moravcik. It's spun off Holt. Paul Lambert brings Colin Healy onto the scene. Oh dear. He and Berkovic not quite on the same wavelength, and Durant picks out Abu, who has it taken away from him by Petrov. Blinker. Straight at Loughlin. Abu and Cockard. Tebily went with him. Paul Lambert. Johnson. Durant. Tosh McKinley, who played 99 times for Celtic, never quite completed the century. Might have thought he was back playing for Celtic then, because he's given it straight to Berkovic. Moravcik away to Blinker. Celtic on the prowl again with Moravcik now. He was certainly crowded out, and he caught Loughlin.
Yeah, he caught Jim Loughlin late there. It was a good challenge by Jim Loughlin, who stepped out the back there to attack the ball. But the early goal in is exactly what Celtic needed tonight. I can tell you they wouldn't have got much sympathy from this crowd had they struggled early on.
Durant. McKinley. Dandaloo, away by Mjallby. Don't want to worry Kilmarnock, but they haven't won at Celtic Park since 1955 when they triumphed 2-0. Did you play in that game, David? Moravcik. Blinker. Stray one from Moravcik, duly dispatched by Tosh McKinley. Between them though, Mjallby and Tebily will sort things out for Celtic. Healy. Lambert under pressure from Durant is forced to go back. is a boo. Possibilities here for Kilmarnock. Not a good pass though, and it was read by Tebily, although he didn't have to spend too much time reading it. Gary Holt, who began his career here, left the army in fact to join Celtic when Lou Macari was in charge. Loughlin slipping it through to Varai. He's in here. Jerome Varai. It's going to trickle wide, and it's a goal kick.
Should have done better. Olivier Tebily caught on the wrong side of Varai again here as the ball's played forward. Tries to get in front of Varai when he should have stayed goal side. Sold himself, and Varai should have hit the target there. You look at Tebily there. He jumps in front when there's no need to. He's in control, and he gives Varai a good chance.
Berkovic. Blinker. Moravcik in space. But he does have Gus McPherson for company. Moravcik to Blinker. Kilmarnock appealing for a flag, which wasn't forthcoming. Not that it mattered in the end. Cockard. Durant. McKinley kept it in, but he has surely fouled Stilian Petrov. Celtic with 3 defeats in their last 4 league games. To Hibs and to Rangers and to Rangers again. But they're in front here. Tommy Johnson's goal, and they're looking for another. Neat move this. Berkovic. Moravcik. And Berkovic! It's going to come to Blinker! It's a second for Celtic, and they owe their fans this.
It's a good finish there by Regi Blinker, but it's all coming from Eyal Berkovic, who's being allowed far too much room there. Once again he's allowed to run at the Kilmarnock rear guard. Good ball wide there, and look at Berkovic. No one picks him up there as he makes his way to the front post. Breaks perfectly for Regi Blinker, and he wasn't going to miss from there, but no one prepared to pick up Eyal Berkovic as he burst forward there, and that's what set the chance up in the first place. And that's exactly the start that Kenny Dalglish would have been looking for tonight. Good finish from Regi Blinker, made sure he was over it. And Celtic well and truly in the driving seat.
Regi Blinker's 4th of the season. It's his first start under Dalglish. Healy, met by Freddie Dandaloo, but landed on the chest of Mjallby. Blinker. Oh, he's put Riseth away. Just going to run away from him, I think, but Celtic in firm control. Kenny Dalglish has warned his players that they're playing for a future. It remains to be seen who that future will be under, though, with regards to the new boss. Kilmarnock have only won 2 of their last 25 encounters with Celtic, so perhaps we shouldn't be too surprised at this scoreline. Here's Cockard. Ian Durant. Durant delivers. Mjallby won it. Oh, Moravcik tripped by McPherson, was he? Going to be a yellow card for Gus McPherson.
Yeah, I think Gus McPherson knew what he was doing there, because Lubo Moravcik was breaking into a very good position, acres of space in front of him. I think Gus McPherson knew exactly what he was doing there.
It was pretty eventful when these teams met here earlier in the season. Kilmarnock took the lead, had Martin Baker sent off at 1-1. And were demolished 5-1. Mark Viduka scored a 5-minute hat-trick. They're not missing Viduka and his goals so far. Celtic. Blinker has got on the score sheet. Lambert, and now Riseth. There's so much space for Celtic. Riseth has made a mess of the cross, though.
Yeah, poor final ball, and to be fair, Celtic, well, they have Regi Blinker on that side, but certainly Vidar Riseth, you'd be surprised if he's going to deliver a good final ball from that side. But just looking back to the goal, twice Eyal Berkovic was allowed far too much room. He gets it here, he's not picked up, acres of room to run into, delivers it wide, and again he continues his run, and he's still not picked up as he gets to the front post. And it was a costly mistake for Kilmarnock.
Riley. Mjallby's got this covered. Healy. Lambert. Regi Blinker. Petrov. Healy is going to latch onto this, and he's stepped past Dalglish but then ran into Loughlin. Blinker though, first time out towards Moravcik. Celtic really in their stride. Moravcik almost knocked out of his stride by Coquard. Here's Olivier Tebily.
Well, pretty tight in terms of possession, 58-42, but the real stat that matters is one of Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0, and it's hardly the start Bobby Williamson would have been looking for tonight. Must have felt that his side had a real chance given the Celtic injuries. Football left, right enough, sorry.
Here's Tommy Johnsonl. This time though the flag has gone up.
Well, just to get back to Eyal Berkovic here, as I said, he's allowed far too much space here. He's driving forward, but as he plays it wide, again he's allowed to run unencumbered into the front post area. Eventually Jim Loughlin tries to get to him, but it breaks perfectly for Regi Blinker, and I don't think you can allow Berkovic that kind of room in these areas.
The Scottish Premier was formed in the mid-70s. Kilmarnock have a dreadful overall record against Celtic, and it is showing no imminent signs of improving. They've beaten them just 4 times in 43 games, all at Rugby Park, and all by a 2-0 scoreline, strangely. It's 2-0 to Celtic at the moment, though. Loughlin to Coquard. He's got the free kick for the foul by Mjallby.
Yeah, it's a good turn there by Coquard. This lad is a player. Maybe the wrong side of 30, but great technique, and clearly shouldered there by Johan Mjallby as he turned inside him.
Scored here earlier in the season, but it didn't matter much. It did at the time. He put Kilmarnock in front, but they lost 5-1. And Bobby Williamson's rather sorry season is not getting any better this evening. Tommy Burns, former Kilmarnock manager, of course. In fact, he brought them into the top flight 7 seasons ago. Durant whips that one in, away by Tebily, and firmly so. Berkovic. Neat footwork by the Israeli international, who scored for his country midweek against Georgia. Moravcik. Blinker. He has Loughlin to contend with, and he'll have to settle for the throw. Jim Loughlin out of contract at the end of the season, to agree a new one with Kilmarnock. Mjallby. Healy. Lambert. Here's Dalglish though. Straight back to Lambert, who effortlessly brought it under control. Lambert. Tebily. Berkovic helped it on to Tommy Johnson. He's going to get it back, and he's put Petrov in here, and Marshall blocked it, and it came off McKinley. Now Loughran has it.
It's a magnificent play from Eyal Berkovic, who really is at the top of his game tonight. And Celtic could have done with that kind of performance from Eyal Berkovic on other occasions this season. It looks as if he's in the mood tonight.
He most certainly is. Here he is again. And he's found Tommy Johnson. Free kick. The flag was up, in fact.
Offside given, I think. Tommy Johnson reckons not. Again, it's Berkovic involved, and it's tight, but I think Tommy Johnson's half a yard off. It's a good block here from Gordon Marshall. Berkovic again involved with the ball inside Tosh McKinley, and Gordon Marshall did well to get off his line quickly and close the ball down.
Gary Holt. Kokar. Durant. Person. Kokar. Holt. Durant up towards Kokar. Back to Durant, who took it so well, but might just have showed too much of it to Jonathan Gould.
Well, the first touch is magnificent here. It's the final touch that let Ian Durant down there, but tremendous touch to take him through there almost to the byline. Come on, I could do with more of that.
He scuffed it out.
Well, how's this for a first touch? And this is not an easy one to take. Dink ball forward to Kokar. And what a fine touch with the outside of his right foot. And it's the final touch that lets him down.
Olivier Tebily. Mjallby. Blinker. Moravcik. Vidar Riseth. Healy. Celtic playing keep ball at the moment. Couldn't quite keep it for too long though. Tosh McKinley has a bit of a problem and is going off. So the former Celtic man makes an early departure and is replaced by 21-year-old Sean Hesse, Liverpool-born defender. His first duty will be to take the throw. He actually joined Killy from Huddersfield, but was also on the books of Wigan and Leeds. Blinker looking for Lambert, who just managed to elude Kokar. Riseth. Berkovic. Celtic comfortable. I knew they'd give it away if I said that. Here's Durant. Kokar. Regi Blinker showing determination. Petrov. Christoph Kokar. Tosh McKinley had to go off with a hamstring problem. So Kilmarnock forced into a first half change. Jerome Varai. Can't get his cross in, Riseth made sure of that, but he will be able to try again. Trying to shake off Riseth and succeeding only in getting the corner.
Riseth sticks to his task here, stays on his feet, and eventually when the time was right he put the tackle in.
It's the first corner of the game, and it'll be taken by Mark Riley. I think there might be better corners to come. Hesse, the sub, now Dandaloo. Nobody over there though for Kilmarnock. What a waste. The Monday Night Football returns from White Hart Lane. It's Tottenham against Middlesbrough. Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Just over 10 minutes of the first half remaining. And many involved with Celtic rather relieved that they are in the position they are at the moment, because had they not been so, you suspect the natives would have been a little restless in the east end of Glasgow.
Oh, you can be sure of that, Ian. They wouldn't have been slow to let their side know what they felt had they struggled here tonight. But it's been a lively Celtic performance, the movement's been good. Berkovic in particular I think has been first class tonight.
Durant at the wrong side of Varai. Celtic untroubled really by that. Lambert. Colin Healy. Berkovic. Stilian Petrov. Free kick now will go Kilmarnock's way.
Yeah, I think Christoph Kokard would have been happier to be allowed to play on there. It was a decent advantage. Mike McCurry decided to bring them back here. I think it's the Regi Blinker who catches Ian Durant here late. Kokard was in a decent position.
Hesse. Here's Christoph Kokard, and he slipped it in for Varai. Abu arriving in the middle, but the flag is up anyway, and it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, the flag was up, but Vidar Riseth did well here to get himself in to protect his central defenders there, and you can see he's very, very tight, but he's marginally offside here, Jerome Varai, but Riseth reads it well here.
Tell you what, Celtic have got a great team in the stands tonight. Stubbs and Jackie McNamara amongst them, and Mark Viduka as well, 27 goals, with the lady in his life.
I don't know how he's going to keep his eye on the game.
I'll let you watch the rest of the first half. Hesse's throw. Varai. Mjallby has the situation under control. Dandaloo slapping it back. Riley's header, but Riseth calmly steers it through to Gould, and Kilmarnock aren't really coming up with much at the moment.
No, I expected more from them, Ian. They really haven't. And Jerome Varai appears to be struggling at the moment on this near side. That's the last thing Bobby Williamson needs, because they really haven't managed to get at Celtic in the last third. And having watched them beat Hibs last week, I was expecting more from them. Played ever so well last weekend.
He's going to have to go off Varai. He's signal to the bench whilst play is progressing here, and injuries are going to cost Kilmarnock 2 men in this first half.
Yeah, it's a late one here by Mark Riley. Arms all over Stilian Petrov.
Riseth trying to run it off, but he made a quick signal to the bench. Berkovic. Lambert. Healy. Berkovic ensuring Celtic hang on to it, and shaking off his former West Ham teammate Abu, but Riley's tackle has set up Kokard. Abu about to have Petrov hassling him, but he's done well to feed it through to Gary Holt. McPherson. Kokard. Hesse. Away by Mjallby. Petrov. Here's Lambert. Johan Mjallby there. Looks like he might be able to carry on, despite his earlier problem. Tebily now, inside the final 5 minutes of the first half. Moravcik wants it, he's not going to get it though. Poor pass from Tebily. Durant, who doesn't really go in for poor passes too often. Trying to smuggle that one through to Kokard. Riseth. Abu. Oh, and no great power on it, but Jonathan Gould able to catch.
Yeah, it's just a bit down a bit too early here, Jonathan Gould. Kilmarnock do well to create the final shooting chance in the first place. It's Riseth with the layoff there. Jonathan Gould down a fraction too early, but it's still within his reach.
Celtic have actually gone 7 home games without keeping a clean sheet, but they have won so far this evening. Healy rode the challenge of Riley. Oh, skip past Hesse. Now Berkovic. Blinker. Here they go again. Time to bring Moravcik into it. Berkovic. Moravcik. Tommy Johnsonl. Oh, he's turned Dalglish. Surely held back, was he? Nothing given by Mike McCurry. Big call for a penalty.
Yeah, I think Mike McCurry has done Tommy Johnsonl a real disservice there.
And Petrov has been obstructed now by Riley, and he has given that one.
Well, it's not the one that Celtic would have wanted though, Ian. I think Tommy Johnsonl clearly held there as he turned Freddie Dandelou. And it's Moravcik with the ball through. Dandelou ends up on the wrong side here of Tommy Johnsonl, and you can see the arms being used there. Well, in fact, he's outside the box when the offence was committed, but it certainly should have been a free kick at least. They have got a free kick though for the later obstruction. Tommy Johnsonl might fancy this. No, it's Moravcik! Oh, that was so close to being a typical moment of magic for Moravcik. Yeah, I don't think you can afford to show Lubo Moravcik so much of the goal here, because he gets the ball up and down so quickly. It's up, there's enough top spin to bring it back down, and it's just a fraction over the crossbar there. I think it's great action on the ball, this Slovakian.
Signed up for another season at Celtic, brought to the club by his fellow countryman Dr. Joe Venglos in the twilight of his career, but they love him here. Durant. Kokard slipping it through to Gary Holt. maybe something on for Kilmarnock, but Mjallby quickly across to block. Kokar. McPherson to Durant. Abu, and here's Riley, and it's battered down by Gould.
Yeah, he got the shot away early, but well, eventually I should say, but he might have taken it earlier, Mark Riley. But Kilmarnock having a good spell here.
We won't mention Jonathan Gould's kick out there. Here's Abu. Tripped by Mjallby. It's going to be a yellow card for the big sweep.
Well, it might be for persistent offending.
He's collected a few of them in his time at Celtic. It's taken quickly, and Holt saw his effort blocked by Gould, and Celtic survived.
Yeah, they fell asleep here, and Holt gets in behind Olivier Tebily here. Quick thinking by Ian Durant. Paul Lambert caught, as was Tebily there, as Gary Holt made the forward run. And Bobby Williamson knows that was a real chance.
It's a corner. Ian Durant getting a wonderful reception as he makes his way into that corner. The referee has spotted a bit of argy-bargy between Tebily and Loughlin. I don't think Durant particularly wants to hang around in that corner too long. So Durant delivers, and Abu was in there. Healy was trying to get it away. Abu. Here's Freddie Dandaloo, who stayed forward. And Abu clips it well over.
Yeah, just couldn't keep it down, but I don't think the half-time whistle will do Kilmarnock or Bobby Williamson any favours. They're having a good spell in the match. I think the last thing they'll want to hear at the moment is the interruption of the half-time whistle. And Bobby Williamson could have done with more of this earlier in the match.
Hoisted up by Lambert. It's a little bit awkward this for Dandaloo, with Tommy Johnson lurking. Petrov was barged into then by Riley. A challenge which didn't impress the home fans. It's half-time at Celtic Park. Lots of empty seats in this ground tonight, but they were on their feet when Tommy Johnson opened the scoring, and Regi Blinker rattled in a second. Celtic calming their nerves when Johnson sprung the offside trap. A fine finish from him. He didn't look like he was going to miss, and nor did Regi Blinker here, in a move inspired by Moravcik and by Berkovic. Kilmarnock's relegation troubles continue. Celtic showing a bit of pride, as they needed to do. Half-time, it's Celtic 2, Kilmarnock 0. Celtic with just 3 wins in their last 9 league matches, seeking to improve that particular record as they prepare to start the second half. Goals from Tommy Johnson and Regi Blinker have put them firmly in the driving seat. Johan Mjallby booked it in the first half, as was Gus McPherson for Kilmarnock, so those two will have to tread carefully. Kilmarnock did enough in the first half to suggest that it's not over yet, Davey.
I don't think Kilmarnock started playing until they were 2-0 down here. I think they showed towards the end of the first half that they can give Celtic problems if they get enough players forward into the last third at times. Ian Durrant in particular started to dictate things for them in the latter part of that first half.
Kilmarnock may be second from bottom, but they've only lost 4 times away from home this season. Only Rangers and Motherwell have lost fewer on the road. Too many draws though, as we have been saying this evening, they're a big problem. Healy. Mjallby. Lambert. Forced to go back. Lubo Moravcik. Berkovic, who's been up for it this evening. And he's poked it offside against Tommy Johnson. The flag is up and it's not going to count.
I bet that was tight. I thought he had timed his run well there. Gets away from Kenny Dalglish again. Berkovic tries to play him, and he's onside, I think, when the ball is played. Watch as Berkovic plays the ball here, and he's clearly onside. Tommy Johnson very unlucky there. Timed his run perfectly.
He sprung the offside trap, as he did for the first goal. Paul Wright. Abu. Away by Olivier Tebily. Abu. Mjallby concedes the throw. McPherson. Durant on a retrieval mission. Riley. Oh, that's a loose one, and it's going to allow Berkovic to break, and he's got Moravcik with him now. Moravcik to Tommy Johnsonl. The flag's up again, and he's put it away again, and once more it will be disallowed.
Well, Moravcik couldn't, in fairness, have given him it any earlier than he did here. Berkovic's good vision to release Moravcik on the far side. The first time pass, and again I think Johnson's onside. And it's a double dunk for Tommy Johnson, and it's a sore one for a striker who knows he's timed his run perfectly to be pulled up like that.
Well, he scored a hat-trick tonight, Tommy Johnson, but only one of them counted. The other two should have done. Lachlan. Kokar. Oh, and here's a chance for Wright, and he's taken it. Paul Wright makes quite an impact after coming on as a sub, and Kilmarnock are right back in it.
Well, this time it's Celtic that decide to hold the line. It's Mjallby and Riseth. Paul Wright makes the run in behind, and Riseth, to be fair, watches him all the way. Wright gets into the perfect position to finish it off, and Vidar Riseth really has to match that run. He can see Paul Wright. It's not as if he's come in on his blind side. He can see Paul Wright make the run, decides not to match it, hoping for an offside, and Celtic are punished.
Vidar Riseth. Well, Celtic effectively could have been 4-0 up. Tommy Johnson's 2 goals had been allowed, and now it's back to 2-1. sure that if it does swing even more in Kilmarnock's favour, there will be much said about those two offside decisions. There'll be a fair bit said about them anyway. Riseth sends that back to Gould. And suddenly there is hope for Kilmarnock. Abu. Riley. Jim Loughlin. There was talk that he might have been called into the Scotland squad this week. Stephen Pressley did get the call in the end. Quite so comfortable for Celtic now. Couple of dodgy offside calls though, foiling Tommy Johnsonl.
Well, you take every break you can get in this game, Ian. There are plenty of knocks along the way, and they're right back in it now, Kilmarnock.
This is Petrov taking on Dandaloo. He's got his cross in, and Gary Holt steamed in to head it behind.
It's a good deep ball here, and Gary Holt does well because Moravcik's in a good position there. I don't think Gus McPherson knows he's there either, and Gary Holt does well to clear.
Celtic get their first corner of the game. It'll be taken by Lubo Moravcik, away by Dandaloo, only to Blinker. It's really chucking it down at Celtic Park now. Berkovic, Mjallby in there, but away by Holt, only to Tebily. Oh, it's just off the outside of the post.
That's a decent effort there from Olivier Tebily. A lot of bodies in front of Gordon Marshall. He wouldn't have known much about this until it came through the line of defenders in front of him. Gordon Marshall at full stretch. I don't think he could have done much about it had it crept inside the post. And it just catches the outside of the post there. Decent effort from Olivier Tebily.
Regi Blinker is going to get a yellow card for a high boot.
He's not happy about this, Regi Blinker. Well, he's leading with the studs there. I know Ian Durrant's high, but Regi Blinker's clearly leading with the studs. I don't think we can have too many complaints about that.
Well, Mike McCarthy was a yard or so away. Blinker and Durrant exchanging a few words, none of which are probably repeatable. Jim Loughlin then will take this Kilmarnock free kick as they go in search of an equaliser now. Up towards Holt, away by Lambert, drops for Durrant. Kokard, Holt, and McPherson. We really caught that well, but it canned off Lambert, who's actually set things up for Moravcik, but an unusually wayward pass from the Slovakian that time. Hessier first half replacement for the injured Tosh McKinley, back at his former club, but not back for too long. Mjallby won the battle with Abu. Petrov, stopped by Dandaloo. Gary Holt flicked it on. Here's Christophe Kokard, but Lambert stepped in. That's going to go straight out, despite the efforts of the Frenchman Christophe Kokard, who's top scorer for Kilmarnock this season with 7. Celtic still haven't kept a clean sheet at home since December.
Well, they've just lost their way at the moment in this match, Celtic. They must have felt they were well in control, but for a couple of dodgy decisions by the far side assistant would have had this game wrapped up. But Kilmarnock are back in it, and Celtic rocking a wee bit just now.
Mjallby away to Moravcik. McPherson not giving him much time and even less space. Lambert. Game off Durant. Celtic's throw. Regi Blinker's goal proving decisive between these teams at the moment. Mjallby. Petrov. Healy. Can't keep it in.
Well, this was the goal that brought Kilmarnock back into it here. Ball played forward there. And as it's knocked into the box, Paul Wright times his run to perfection. He knows it's onside. I really don't know why Vidar Riseth doesn't match his run, because he sees right all the way.
Hasn't figured too much this season, Paul Wright, but certainly taking his chance here as a replacement for the injured Jerome Varai. Lambert, Healy, Berkovic. Ian Durant. Chris McPherson in his 10th season with Kilmarnock, former Rangers man. Christophe Coquard. Loughlin. Babu. Oh, Coquard has stepped in here, and now Holt, and Wright is in the middle, and others are arriving, but it's come off Mjallby. Corner.
Well, it all came from slackness here from Olivier Tebily, allowing Christophe Coquard possession down the right hand side. Kilmarnock had men over on this side. Paul Wright trying to find a bit of space in the box, eventually attacking the front post, and it's charged down by Mjallby, but it all came from Olivier Tebily's slackness.
Durant's corner, and nobody was picking up Holt, and it's gone through the crowd and down to Lou, and Coquard's header, and Loughlin has scored, and Kilmarnock are level. Jim Loughlin, what a comeback from Killy, what a nightmare for Celtic.
Yeah, they've lost it at the moment, Celtic. Not picking up at the back post there as the final ball is played in. Nobody on Jim Loughlin. Look at Jim Loughlin at the back post there. Nobody picking him up as the ball eventually breaks to him. And it's Olivier Tebily there who's completely unaware of Jim Loughlin behind him. And as the header comes in here, Olivier Tebily is completely unaware of what's going on his blind side, and it's an easy header for Jim Loughlin. No blame attached to Jonathan Gould. Kilmarnock right back in it. And a game that looked lost early in that first half is now back in the melting pot.
Jim Loughlin with a precious goal. Very precious. And there is real belief about Kilmarnock now. And what an intriguing contest it's become. And here's Christophe Coquard. Abu is the man in the middle at the moment. Coquard waiting for others, might not use them. Gould has saved it, and Lambert kept his cool, but Celtic are looking very ragged.
Yeah, they're on the back foot now, and Kilmarnock know it, and you can hear the anxiety going all around this ground. Celtic rocking.
Here's Abu. Oh, it just skidded under his boot. Berkovic. Moravcik. Here's Healy. Petrov. Moravcik coming in. Moravcik. McPherson trying to snuff him out. But here's Berkovic. Offside. Flag is up, and Celtic are going to have their third goal goal disallowed for offside. It was put in by Healy.
Well, let's look at this one again. And it's Berkovic, and it's played in, it's half a yard. Yeah, you have to say he's right on this occasion. It's very tight, but he's certainly right. And he has a lot of averages on his side. He's due to get one right.
Here's Healy. Celtic were 2 up against Hearts in their first home game this year, with John Barnes still in charge, and they lost that one 3-2. They've been pegged back to 2-2 here, and it's gone from being very comfortable to very, very awkward for Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah, very much so, Ian. And I think it's a test of the character of the Celtic side, which has been lacking at times this season. It's all very well wanting the ball when you're 2-0 up, but it's a different situation now, and there don't appear to be too many of these Celtic players saying, "Give it to me."
Blocked that one out of play. Bobby Williamson will be delighted with the way his team have battled back here, showing the sort of spirit they need in their situation.
I think it's all down to belief, Ian. They really looked in the early part of this match as if they didn't think they could win. All of a sudden at 2-0 down, they give it their best shot and finally discover they can give Celtic problems.
Healy helped it on, but it's mopped up by Dandaloo. Lambert up towards Tommy Johnson, but Loughlin, having done the business at one end, now doing his duty at the other. Tebily. Away by Hesse. Boo has time, and he has Durant nearby. Riseth saw that one coming, but it bobbled off him. Kilmarnock are actually unbeaten in 6 games, but draws once again rear their ugly head, because 4 of those 6 have ended all square. But they were really on a high after getting a rare victory against Hibs last week. Berkovic, though, is leading this Celtic charge. Blinker leaves it for Lubo Moravcik. Blinker on the outside. Moravcik! Oh, it's going to be Berkovic, surely! Offside! Flag is up again, and Celtic have had 4 goals disallowed for offside.
Yeah, much to the relief of Gordon Marshall, who spilled the first effort there. Great footwork, I have to say, by Eyal Berkovic, and great composure. And as the shot comes in here, he's certainly offside. And as it comes off Gordon Marshall, I have to say the assistant is spot on there. He has to give that against Eyal Berkovic.
I can't remember ever seeing a game where the team had the ball in the net 4 times, but it was ruled out for offside. 2 of them correct decisions, 2 of them otherwise, and of course Celtic were 2-0 up when those offside shouts went against Tommy Johnson. A point that I'm sure will not be lost on Kenny Dalglish and co. Berkovic wants Moravcik to move forward. Healy. He's again looked impressive, Colin Healy. And Moravcik tried to give it back to him, but Jim Loughlin stayed aware and alert. Blinker. Moravcik. Into the final quarter of the game, and difficult to see which way it's going to go. If it is going to go one way. Berkovic. Moravcik. Tommy Johnson. Blinker. Celtic getting their act together. Blinker's cross though is clutched by Gordon Marshall.
Yeah, it wasn't the best final ball. Johan Mjallby was in good position at the back post. Had the angle of the cross been better.
Riseth up towards Johnson, but it's down by Loughlin to Holt. Abu.
Once again, Olivier Tebily just backs off there, and he's tight on Abu there as he's played up to him, and he's given all the time in the world to turn and run it at the Celtic backline.
Kilmarnock's throw. We were talking at the start of the second half when Celtic had a 2-0 lead about the fact that it was just as well because the Naces would get restless. Now they have got restless. Kilmarnock getting it back to 2-2. Paul Wright helped that on, but it's gone too far away from Hesse. Ian Durant. Berkovic. Tommy Johnson. Hanging on grimly. Here's Blinker. Moravcik. Blocked by McPherson.
Yeah, Gary Holt did well there once again, though, just giving Gus McPherson a bit of support there.
That was a loose one from Moravcik, allowing Abu to find Paul Wright. Gary Holt. Riley. Loughlin. Durant. Holt. Hokard. Berkovic. It's very, very tense around Celtic Park at the moment. Could be even more tension had Hokard got away then, but Mjallby to the rescue, and he's continuing to go forward. Berkovic. And Mjallby, and it's going to go in. No, off the post. Mjallby can try again. It's an almighty scramble, and Kilmarnock get it away.
Unbelievable stuff. Johan Mjallby, of all people, popping up in the box there.
Blinker has been dispossessed, but unfairly so.
That was a wonderful pass by Eyal Berkovic to play him in here in the first place. Gordon Marshall did well, and eventually Sean Hesse did enough as well at the death there to put Mjallby off. And he timed his run to perfection to stay onside Johan Mjallby. Pass threaded through there by Berkovic.
Oh, Petrov has been taken out, has he? Oh, the referee is allowed play to go on. Hokard seems to wrap himself around Petrov.
The Celtic supporters far from happy here that a free kick wasn't given against Stilian Petrov, and I can see why. They're taken well late there by Christoph Hokard.
Celtic are making a change. 18-year-old Stephen Craney is going to come on for his second substitute appearance only, replacing Vidar Riseth. Craney actually made an appearance for Scotland under 21s in midweek as well, so it's been quite a week for a young man who has a very promising future, but this season, sadly for him, has been wrecked by a bout of glandular fever. Berkovic. Oh, another crunching challenge, and Lambert hurt as Riley went in. It's a yellow card for Mark Riley.
Yeah, he's had a few of them tonight, Mark Riley. Hasn't been slow to put his foot in. And he's just second to this one, fully committed. Probably knew the minute the contact was made there that he was looking at a yellow card.
Well, let's hope Paul Lambert's okay, because he's only just returned from 2 months on the sidelines.
Well, the two significant moments though that clawed Kilmarnock back into this game. First of all, Paul Wright allowed a free run and a free header to get Kilmarnock right back into it, and Jim Laughlin at the back post not picked up. Olivier Tebily falling asleep there at the back post to get Kilmarnock back on level terms. The game turned on its head and he's not complaining.
Well, they are the draw specialists this season, Kilmarnock, but they will believe they can win it.
Celtic could have been back in front. That's a wonderful pass by Eyal Berkovic as Tommy Johnsonl comes out. Mjallby had timed his run perfectly, challenged by Hesse as he tries to get the shot in, and the spin of the ball does him no favours there as it bounces onto the face of the post.
Lambert appears to be okay. Kenny Dalglish doing his best to try and keep warm. Good luck to him. Good work tonight. A nippy night in Glasgow. And Celtic catching a chill as Kilmarnock pull themselves back to 2-2. Paul Wright bundled over by Mjallby. No, he wasn't, says Frank McCurry. Wright told to get up. Berkovic. Mjallby. Back to Berkovic. No flag this time! And that is exceptional from Eyal Berkovic. And you can see what it means to him. Celtic are back in front.
That's a wonderful goal from a man who's turned in a wonderful performance for Celtic tonight, Ian. And he knows exactly what he was doing. He had a little exchange there to open Kilmarnock up at the back, and Gordon Marshall left helpless there. The deft lob over the top of him. Good return ball by Mjallby there. The one touch on the left thigh, the right foot did the rest. And it's no more than Eyal Berkovic deserves. He really has been head and shoulders above anyone else out there tonight. And it's a superb finish under the circumstances. Gordon Marshall coming out perhaps a bit too far in reflection, and made up Eyal Berkovic's mind for him, but it still had to be executed.
Hockraft meantime was trying to barge his way through. And just before that goal, Kilmarnock and Paul Wright were looking for a free kick, of course. But this game swings back in Celtic's favour again, much to the dismay of Bobby Williamson. Eyal Berkovic scoring for the first time since the end of November.
Yeah, the frustrating thing that the chord that struck tonight is that when Eyal Berkovic is in this kind of form, he does look a £5 million footballer, but he just hasn't done it often enough.
Freddie Dandaloo. Well, Kilmarnock have got to come back again. And he was in the mood to go again, Berkovic, but his feet were a little high.
Yeah, it's high feet it's given for. Otherwise, Berkovic was in 2 against 1 there.
There are a few challenges going in, but that's all part of it.
It's a cold night, that's what we need.
Get stuck in.
Dead level on free kicks given.
Healy. Freeney, the substitute, is the nearest Celtic man to Christoph Kokard. Blinker shadowing him now. Kokard doing well. Durant. Gary Holt. McPherson And away by Mjallby, but he scuffed it behind for a corner.
There's still a bit of football left in this match, a bit of work for Celtic to do, Ian. Once again, Jim Laughlin and Freddie Dandaloo go forward to the back post.
Can Kilmarnock hold themselves level again? Not with a corner like that from Durant. It was comfortably cleared by Johnson. Bobby Williamson, the second longest serving manager in the Scottish Premier League, behind Jim Jeffries. Now by McPherson on Moravcik. And have Kilmarnock lost their momentum, I wonder? They're not going to give it up as we head into the final quarter of an hour. So long last season, they were right up there. What was that? From Craney. Kokard looking to slip it through to Abu. Could rather relieve Celtic that they got out of jail on that one. So long last season, Kilmarnock were right up at the top of the table, but they've spent most of this season right down at the bottom. Dandaloo up towards Kokard. Mjallby got a foot in. Lambert. Healy, and that's going to be a free kick. Petrov floored by Messi, and he's got a yellow.
Yeah, once again, he can have no complaints at all. He was skinned there on the right hand side, Sean Hesse.
So to booking for Sean Hesse, a first half sub for the injured Tosh McKinley. Lambert. Celtic are going to bring on Mark Burchil shortly. Here's Moravcik looking to weave a little more magic. Comes to Lambert on the volley. Doesn't score many, but when they do, they can be spectacular.
Yeah, it's a very difficult one to take here. Comes out the air for Paul Lambert. He just can't keep it down.
A worthy round of applause for Tommy Johnson, who on another day might have had a hat-trick. He had 2 goals wrongly disallowed for offside, but he did score 1. Mark Burchil, left on the bench again today, comes on for the closing stages. Scored the winner against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park earlier in the season. Laughlin with an up and under, which Tebily does deal with. Away by Craney. Burchil getting his first touch, assisted by Lubo Moravcik, who took the wrong option, although Riley almost ran into trouble in the shape of Burchil. Durant, Kokard. Suddenly it opens up for Kilmarnock here, and Gary Holt is not going to get much joy out of that. Berkovic. Healy. Mjallby. Berkovic. Moravcik. Blinker is hugging the touchline, and that's come off Regi Blinker. It will be a goal kick. Gus McPherson doing his duty for Kilmarnock. A reminder of the Monday night match for you this week. It's Tottenham Hotspur against Middlesbrough from White Hart Lane, and you can see it on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra after the boys have rounded up all the weekend action. And plenty to talk about there as usual. Here's Blinker. Berkovic. Petrov has made a run into the box, but here's Healy and Riley on hand. The conditions adding to the tension in this game. We've had rain, snow, sleet, a bit of everything. Burchil. No way through that time.
Good block by Jim Laughlin there. Chances at both ends now, the game's starting to stretch.
Dandelou's header. Gary Holt, Ian Durant. All right. Durant, and that's going to release Abu. He's going to get there. Abu's cross, met by Mjallby, but it's only cleared as far as Sean Hesse. And he can drop one in there again, but not quite so good that time. Burchil will chase this, but Laughlin covering. Kilmarnock plugging away. Durant, he saw that one intercepted by Stephen Craney. But it's Kilmarnock's throw, and it's edgy stuff, edge of seat stuff in the closing stages. Hesse, that one's going to carry straight through to Jonathan Gould. Celtic will be rather relieved.
Yeah, they still don't look completely in control of the match, Celtic, and I think their confidence still a bit fragile after last weekend. Certainly Kenny Dalglish is looking for more.
Laughlin's header. Healy. One will spin out. A Celtic throw. The 3 goals they've scored this evening have taken Celtic's tally for the season to 95. Only 10 of them scored by Scots. Tebily. Up towards Moravcik, but you'd fancy Cusman Person to win that. Craney. Blinker. Berkovic. Here he goes again. Oh, it's a showcase from Eyal Berkovic. He won't score, but Burchil will, and this time the flag stays down, and Celtic have restored their 2-goal cushion. Berkovic is hurt.
Yeah, Mark Burchil had a very quick look over his shoulder here to see if the flag was up. But it's absolute genius here from Eyal Berkovic as he plays Mark Burchil in. I think decent claims here for offside. But Celtic are due a break from this far side assistant. Wonderful play from Berkovic, eventually playing Burchil in. Looked well offside to me. But as I said, Celtic have been on the wrong side of a few of these decisions tonight, and Mark Burchil will quite happily take that one.
So Mark Burchil scores his 8th of the season, but the man who created it, Eyal Berkovic, hurt in the process.
Was Mark Burchil offside? That's the question, but it's delightful play by Berkovic. Burchil trying to stay onside here. Berkovic is clear, and as the ball is played, I think Mark Burchil is in an offside position there.
Well, that flag has gone up so much this evening against Celtic. Burchil pleased to see it stay down this time, but there is a problem with Berkovic, who has shown the sort of form that endeared him to Southampton fans when Graham Souness first brought him to British football, and to West Ham fans as well. But as Davey has been saying, simply hasn't done it enough in Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kenny Dalglish will have watched this Eyal Berkovic performance, and we certainly hope he's all right down there, Ian. But he will have watched this performance and just wondered if the season might have been different had this man turned it on a bit more often. The talent is there is no question about that, and he's gone through the full repertoire tonight. And Mark Burchil delighted to come on and get on the score sheet. And unless he's level or behind the ball as it's played to him from Berkovic, he's offside, and I think he's just offside as it's played through here. Well, he might be behind the ball, I don't know from that angle, but certainly it has to be level or be behind the ball as Berkovic takes his last touch to be onside.
Eyal Berkovic leaves the field of play on a stretcher, sadly, but he has graced this field of play today, and the applause ringing in his ears. Let's hope that's not too serious. We've already seen a nasty injury today to Stan Collymore. So Berkovic is off, and remember him, Bobby Petr comes on for his first appearance this millennium. The Celtic fans who have stayed away today have missed a classic contest here. Tebily. That was straight on to the chest of Dandaloo. Abu just seemed to stumble, allowing Colin Healy to retrieve it. It was a brave fight back by Kilmarnock, but it looks like they won't get much reward for their efforts tonight. Moravcik. Petrov steaming away here. And Dandaloo's slid in. Man of the match tonight, Davey?
Oh, Eyal Berkovic by a mile, and he really has been sensational tonight, and we certainly hope he's all right downstairs. Looks a bad one he's taken, but he's been head and shoulders above everyone else out there this evening.
Moravcik. Healy. Mjallby. Tebily. Away by McPherson is Regi Blinker though. Over the top by Tebily. Abu. Away by Mjallby. McPherson will get ready to take the throw. Abu trying to put Kokard in, and he has done. Kokard's cross steered away by Mjallby. Blinker to Craney. Now Bobby Petr, but across came Lachlan. 40,569 at Celtic Park tonight. That's more than 15,000 down on the lowest league attendance this season. And whilst you can certainly understand why they stayed away, they have missed a pretty good game. I'm sure they're watching around the pubs and clubs and in their homes. But as I say, perfectly understandable really as to why they gave it a miss. Celtic have responded to getting bashed by Rangers last week, even if they haven't done it in an entirely convincing way. Kilmarnock could face the relegation playoffs if they finish bottom, a point above Aberdeen. Although those playoffs won't happen if Falkirk finish in the top three. They are in the top three at the moment, but Raith Rovers are closing in. Falkirk's ground not good enough. Raith is. Durant. Loughlin. We are in added on time. And there will be 4 minutes of added on time. Gary Holt might have showed too much of that to Mjallby. And a free kick is given in favour of the Swedish international.
Yeah, Gary Holt just overruns this and ends up stretching it, and he catches Johan Mjallby late. He took the knock on the top of the foot. Well, let's try and clear this Mark Burchil goal up. Finally, I just wonder if I did him a disservice here. Berkovic works his way through. Well, is Burchil behind the ball? In fact, he is. And he's onside, so apologies to Mark Burchil for holding his position so well.
So, huge relief for Kenny Dalglish that his team have rediscovered winning ways. They play again here on Wednesday night against Motherwell. Next up for Bobby Williamson is a home match against Dundee United next weekend. Just a point above Aberdeen at the bottom. Here's Kokard. He's pushed it past Tebily, but Mjallby is steaming across. Oh, Mjallby has taken out Kokard here. He's on a yellow card and he's going to get away with that.
Oh, he's very lucky. He's very lucky, Johan Mjallby. Skinned here by Christoph Kokard. He just gets the first touch there. And I think Mike McCurry does the Swedish defender a real favour here. Who knows it?
Kokard actually showed an imaginary card. McCurry didn't. Durant with that one in. It was flipped away by Petrov. And Hesse can't keep it in. It's all over now for Kilmarnock. Even though they did offer some brave resistance, but when you bear in mind that Celtic had two decent goals wrongly disallowed for offside, I suppose justice has been done. Ian Durant. Celtic fans enjoyed that one, even if he didn't.
Oh, the game's just drifted away from Kilmarnock. It all looked so promising at 2-2. And you have to hand it to Celtic. Had a ropey spell at 2 each, but came back strongly, much to the disappointment of this man.
Bobby Petter. Moravcik. Oh. Lambert was unusually sloppy. Seconds remaining though. Abu. Hesse. Riley. Abu. It's all over. And it's a victory for Kenny Dalglish, a victory that was required, most definitely. Celtic did it the hard way really, but that won't surprise their fans, those who were here and those who weren't. It finishes Celtic 4, Kilmarnock 2.